I'd like to call to order the Dayton Library Building Committee. It is Thursday, April 10th, 2025. It's 3:01. This meeting is a hybrid meeting. We're meeting at 1111 Somerset Avenue in Dayton, Mass. 02715. We're also, like I said, hybrid, so we have a member that's on Zoom. The listing of matters of those reasonably anticipated by the chair, which may be discussed at this meeting. Not all items listed may in fact be discussed, and other items not listed may also be brought up for discussion to the extent permitted by law. I'm going to call for roll call the members, starting with Ron.
Ron O'Connor, co-chair.
Jonathan
Gale, ADA coordinator.
Campuchico, co-chair.
James Aguirre, building official.
Mark Propik, library director.
Pat Gales, Historical Commission.
Mark Forrest.
Thank you.
Call to order the meeting of the Dayton Public Library Board of Trustees as part of the joint meeting with the Library Building Committee. The listing of matters are those reasonably anticipated by the chair, which may be discussed at the meeting. Not all items listed may in fact be discussed. And other items not listed may also be brought up for discussion to the extent permitted by law. This is a hybrid meeting. All of the trustees are present in the room at the table, and we'll do a roll call. Ron O'Connor, chair.
And Mike Son, trustee.
Rita Arujo, trustee.
Thank you.
Could we all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Agenda item number 4, updates regarding project work streams, starting with the building infrastructure.
Sure. Hello, everyone. We've been doing really well over at the library. The North Star, the HVAC company, is under full contract and they have started. They've been there now roughly a week. We put a lockbox on the building to make it easier for contractors to come and go. Some of the equipment has been delivered. As you see, there's 3 storage units now. We are paying for all of them. And one of those is for the equipment. I want to thank Mark for his help. We laid out the entire interior of the building without actual fixtures so that we could locate all of the HVAC infrastructure. And that took us only a couple of hours one day. So it went pretty well. But it was important because, a lot of the HVAC infrastructure will line up with fixtures that aren't in the building yet. So we physically laid them all out on the floor. And I have to say, the layout looks really, really well. So a couple of minor modifications. It was good that we wrote the scope of services as it was, because it gave us some leniency. However, I've been very conscious of not incurring any change orders. So I made myself available to the HVAC contractor almost on a whim's notice so that if there were questions, there weren't any delays. And we've accommodated all of the changes that needed to be made on the fly and without impacting the layout and the overall appeal of the building. So I think we've done pretty well. The storefront glazing contract was signed by the town administrator. It was ratified by the selectmen last night, I'm told. So I'm eagerly awaiting contact with that contractor to see what that timeline will be. It seems like everything is falling into place so that we can keep our opening date sometime in the fall.
I'm not gonna hold my breath.
No. Granite City Partners is also working on the interior lighting. They had a little bit of trouble finding fixtures that fit our needs. But I was adamant about having them go back and try and find other vendors so that we can make sure we get the right fixtures for that building. So they're working on that.
Anybody have any questions?
Do we want to just amend the roll call with Britt?
Sure, we had a member of this committee walk in late, just walked in. Could you identify yourself, please?
Still Brit.
Thank you.
Yes.
So there's no questions for
I
Jim?
do have one question. The electrical needs, how are we looking for that?
Yep, it's a good question. The town electrician is working to get the electrical infrastructure in for the HVAC. That is all working out to on time. The actually largest piece of equipment was just dropped off to this building today. We had a meeting just before this meeting with the electrician and the people who are going to actually install it on the building. So that's going to take place next week. And then in collaboration with the HVAC contractor, the branch circuits for the HVAC equipment will happen over the next 2 weeks. While I had the electrician, I talked with him about a backup plan because although BP is doing a good job, they're not going to be able to hit our target date. So in addition to that, the electrical contractor is going on vacation for his retirement, and then we'll come back and work at a limited capacity. So we talked about a backup plan in place for both the library and for his absence while he's on vacation. So he's working on that. He does have a couple of ideas. I told him I'd like to flush that out next week so that we have a clear path to make sure that we stay on target. So it's all coming together.
All right.
Have we gotten pricing yet for the electric doors?
We have not. I'm sorry, was that included in the storefront?
Was the pricing for the,
I'm pretty sure that was included in the storefront.
I didn't
Yeah,
look
I'm
at the
sorry.
contract.
I didn't bring that with
read it.
me. I'll send an email out, but I'm pretty sure that was included in the Somerset Glass contract.
For the electric,
Yeah, for the,
Yeah,
for the, for the- for the automatic door openers,
Yeah.
right? For the exterior doors, the two accessible exterior
Okay.
doors. Yes,
was the figure included or just the specs included?
I think it might have been well, no, the specs were included by GCP, but I think it's in a separate line item in the contract
Okay.
because that's a grant.
Yes, that's why I'm asking, just so that we know what we're working with.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
dollars.
So when we process that, the invoices for that, we'll obviously take that line item from the grant monies.
Okay.
Mhm.
Thank you.
I think at the last meeting, Jonathan, you talked about having electric doors for the bathroom, but you
Yes.
weren't sure it was necessary. And there was some concern about doing that, so were you able to check into that any further?
I haven't had a chance to check that any further. I have a conversation with somebody tomorrow to double check it. But at the same time, if it has the right levers on the doors, the regular,
Sure.
the push down lever as opposed to knob, that may suffice.
I
So-
think that's what you got planned anyway, right, Jim?
Correct.
Any other questions or concerns for Jim? If not, we'll go to the budget.
Thank you, Jim.
Yep, just one more thing. At the next meeting, which we'll set later, I would like to bring some carpeting swatches in so that we can talk about different carpeting. And I'll bring the plan back because I know it was quite some time ago, but we mocked up the plan as to what was going where.
Mhm.
So I'd like to have some direction about what type of carpeting we're gonna put in. So,
All the more fun stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. That's why I said it.
So when do we talk about sconces?
Underlining.
I've never heard that word before in my life. I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious, yeah. Yeah, dead serious, yeah.
What was that, please?
Did we already
It
look
was
at
kind of
that?
a,
Didn't we already look at swatches?
Not a,
Not for carpet.
not for carpet,
Were we swatches for what then?
paint?
Paint.
Okay, thank you.
There's a little bit of a difference between the two.
We're not painting the floors? Okay, well, that's
You
good.
might be a good candidate for one of those chips too.
Yeah, and we don't want to put the carpet down and do some more painting.
No,
Right, so.
no.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, thank you. I do recall the swatches, but now I realized they weren't carpeting. I thought they were.
Okay, so if Jim doesn't have one more thing,
I'm sorry.
no, it's important.
It is.
It is.
That,
Plus,
that's
it's fun, so
Yeah.
give us something to look forward to next
Sure.
time.
Next
It's
meeting swatches.
been a long road, so.
I agree. Budget,
sure. I can report that there is $240,895.84 left in the special article. We haven't touched the HVAC $200,000 grant yet, but we will. I can also report, as a result of the CPC meeting that we were at last month, that we're going to be using the CPC funds to dip into the the overlap from the HVAC.
HVAC.
Yeah, if that's even the right word, but what's the word? Yeah,
The shortfall.
yes, well, that's what we'll call it, shortfall. So I think we're in good shape, looking at all those budget lines still have 6 figures on them. I think we're in good shape.
I would just ask, is it possible when you produce this form
Yeah,
here?
I didn't
I can't-
realize it was this small until I printed it.
Yeah.
I had already sent it and then I printed it and I was like,
I can't
um,
read it,
yeah.
and I try to enlarge it myself. I can enlarge it on the computer, but I can't print it.
So I didn't print it until right before this
Yeah,
meeting,
sure.
and I printed it and I said, I hope it didn't send this small. And I realized that it did. So
Yeah.
now I'm gonna work on that.
I'm looking forward to Tesla having that chip, so I can.
Okay,
I can see
all right.
it next time around.
What do you cut and paste those from an Excel sheet?
do, yeah.
That's probably
That,
why.
yeah, had I known it was this small, like if I printed it right away, I would have been like, let me resend that.
Yeah, because I opened
But,
it
yeah.
and I'm like, I printed it, so that's small, and then
Yeah.
so I downloaded it and then tried it and I was still printed small, and I'm like, I know what he did.
That's exactly what I
Yeah.
did.
So.
So I'll just do something different. next time.
Okay.
So what are you gonna, can you put on separate sheets then, or?
Yeah, I'll make it so it can be readable. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, even just have a high level summary of like what's left.
Over
in
my
each account.
magnifying glasses.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll have a magnifier on your.
It
Magnifier
will be
on my-
far
I don't
easier
have it
to
on my
read
phone.
at the next meeting.
Magnifier on your.
Yeah.
Point
Well,
out
thank
that
you.
if you
You have
have
to
it on
open it
your.
on your phone,
Thank
but anyway, yes, it's,
That's
Come
what I
on, let's just not be so technology.
Yes. Some of us like to print it.
Yeah.
but, even if you're gonna go to this sort of reformatting thing, in some ways, all I need to see is like the balance in each account. It's a high level, the details of where the money went.
Well, that's important too.
It is, but I'm just thinking if I saw just a summary that said the balance in each account.
So could you give Ron just a summary, but for the rest of us? Could
You
give
got
us
it.
a-
You got it.
Lava?
Oh, it'll be
I'll just
easy. Yeah,
print out,
absolutely.
yeah. And you're gonna use your phone, so you don't need a lot.
Yeah.
Can you also make an audio file for me?
Yeah, certainly. I'll even record it myself.
You could just have a big poster board, and
After the meeting, we'll go around, we'll get special, we'll be like a window.
I
Yeah.
just want to know how much the sconces are. That's good.
I'm just glad I know what they are.
as long as. Okay.
Anybody have any questions on the budget? Any questions? for,
Are we good? All right,
We are.
so right on.
that's all I need to know. I don't need to know
Yeah.
any of it.
I feel good where we are.
Me too.
That's great.
Grants and fundraising. I know you had applied for.
I had,
the process. of
Yep,
applying for another-
that decision was made April 6th. They'll notify recipients by mid-May. Sorry, mid-April. Decision was made April 6th. We're notified by mid-April. So I'll know before our next meeting
Oh, good.
if we get it or not. Yeah.
And what was that one?
I applied for a grant, Association for Small Rural Libraries. There was a foundation that provided seed money for grants for libraries that fit that criteria. We were one of them. So I applied for a $15,000 grant. That was the maximum. Maybe we get the full, maybe we get somewhere
15,
between
5,
50, 1.5.
1, 5.
That was the max.
So is that, for lack of a better way to put it, is that federal money that comes
No.
from them to us?
That was seeded by a foundation. So I interpreted that it was sort of privately
Philanthropy.
funded, not federal, not
Okay.
state, just
All right.
privately funded.
So theoretically, we don't have to worry that it's going to be pulled back. Is
No.
what I mean,
No, no.
It's by a foundation.
Right, yeah.
okay.
Good. And just briefly on the fundraising, the committee met at the last meeting. We discussed several things, but we haven't firmed anything up. So we got another meeting at 4 o'clock today,
Mhm.
fundraising, so we'll pursue that further.
Mhm.
Anybody have any questions regarding fundraising or grants? If not, community updates and information. I know that you've posted. Some additional.
Sorry.
Oh, we're going back to the fundraising and grants.
Yeah, only because it relates to the American Library Association accessibility grant, and there's this may come up in the community updates and information, so, but Mark and Jonathan are planning a forum this month, and that's tied to that grant, correct? Because we
Correct.
said we would do 2
Yes.
of these forums, so I just want to make sure that brought up here. If you may have done it, may plan to do it in the community updates and information, but so
It's going to come up.
it's gonna come up. Okay, it's good. So that's happening. Great.
Mhm.
Okay, community updates and information.
Yeah, so we're having that community forum. It's this month. It's 24th. It's the fourth
24th,
Thursday, yeah,
24th.
fourth Thursday in April. It's gonna be in this building here. had an announcement in the selectmen meeting. Thank you, Jonathan.
Yep.
We did a Facebook post about it, put it in the newsletter. I have flyers up. So hopefully we get a good showing. I'm going to start by giving a little overview where we are in the construction renovations, and then Jonathan will take over talking about what we're doing as far as accessibility. And hopefully there's some good participants and some good discussion, and people walk away thinking, wow, that project's on track.
We're also going to follow it up with a second forum. And it'll be sometime in mid-May, date to be determined, early next week when I sit down with the folks from Primetime. But one way to get a good audience is to have the folks from Primetime participate. So we were going to do it again and do it around, it might be like a lunch, one of their lunches or something like that.
Prime time or the senior center?
Same difference from my perspective.
They're not.
Yeah.
Prime time is the adult daycare.
Okay, well, okay, then I'll.
You can call it the
Council on Aging.
Council on
So
Aging.
it's going to be from COA. And we're going to do it around, it may be done like a coffee hour or lunch or something like that. So that we can hear from seniors and anybody else who wants to participate who can't normally make it in the evening. So basically, we're going to duplicate this twice.
That's a good idea.
And that'll be sometime in mid-May when we do that. And then sticking with the grant for a minute. Mark and I have talked about the things that we need to purchase and we need to order, and I'm just waiting to get the final pricing on it for the technology pieces of it.
And that, once we've spent that down, we will be ready to perhaps apply for another cycle of funding if that's available.
Yep,
Good.
assuming it's still available, then we can give them our final report. And then we can
Right?
apply again. We told them right now that we expect, we extended it when we did the extension to December, just to cover ourselves. But I expect, based on everything that I'm hearing, it'll be long before December.
Yeah, good.
Yes.
Thank you for all your work on that.
Actually,
But will we-
Jonathan, if I could, it was actually extended to April 2026, because that was just the easiest on their end.
Yep.
Yeah, but when we spend it down, we'll spend it, yeah. That was just logistically
You're right.
wise on their
My
end.
bad.
That was.
About the forum, are we sharing what we heard at the first forum in some way, either online or as part of your presentation, Jonathan? Like, is there some way that people can see or hear? I just don't know where that lives right now, the information that we gathered the first time.
Yeah, the information that we gathered the first time, I plan to share at the forum.
Okay,
With what we heard, what we put together.
thank you.
I'm actually also going to use some of the same handouts with the different list of type of ideas and disabilities at the same time. So partially an update and partially looking for new material.
Yeah,
And I'm hoping, as Mark is normally when he does his, his fourth Thursday events, that's becomes a time where people know there's a library event.
Mhm.
So hopefully we'll get a reasonable turnout
And
that night.
Cable is also going to record it as well.
Yeah.
I'll
And
confirm with cable.
we have so far not had a request for anybody looking for cart services or interpretive services.
Okay.
So unless we get it by, early next week, it's not going to happen. So we're not budgeting that expense at this point for it. If we have to do it, we have to. But as of now, I don't see that's going to happen.
so is the summary of like what we heard at the first forum, is that posted on the library website under the library building stuff?
If it's posted, it was posted before my,
Yeah, that's why, because of the transition, I'm just concerned that things might have gotten lost in transition. If people want to see it, I know you did a report, right? You did I just want to make sure that it lives somewhere where people can go online and see it, and we can tell them this is where they can find it if they need to, if they want to.
Yeah, I can get that and I can send that over to you, Mark,
Yeah.
for posting, because we did have to do a report for the Library Association after we had our first forum. So we did give them a sense of what was asked, what was discussed. It was just a summary.
Yeah, that's
We
fine.
can
I
post
think that'd be good to post.
Okay.
I think, again, I think I kind of missed that when Mark came on board, what we had done with that. So
Okay,
good. It'd be good just to post it.
all right.
Let ALA know that we've done that. We don't need to tell them that we've done it, just that I think it's important that we post that information on accessibility.
Okay, well, they know we've done it because they got a copy.
Yeah, but I think as part of the outreach, we just say that it's available to people.
Yep, yep.
Good. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
That's all.
I suspect the meeting with the Council on Aging will be at their monthly breakfast. I would think there's about 40,
Seems like a good time.
it's about 40 people that attend that.
Seems like a good time to do.
So yeah, you would have a captive audience and they're all over the age of 60. So it's a good group to,
Mhm.
And what time is the breakfast in the morning? Because
9.
are you up that early, Mark?
I'm up, I don't sleep, so I'm up whenever.
yeah, well, it's going to be,
Just
they
put the
normally have it on
battery
a
on.
Friday. And I know that's.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Turn off
Just
the
so you know,
phones.
Okay.
it's going to be a Friday. I don't know when it is scheduled for
For May?
May.
I don't know when
They have
it's
a good
scheduled for
holiday,
May,
I don't
no.
think.
I'm gonna see Laura just this afternoon, so
Oh,
I'll ask
she'll
him.
tell you.
I'll ask him this afternoon if we
Yeah.
can consider that.
I'm gonna go for.
Tell her Ken said,
I will. I intend to. Because she usually,
don't use my
she
name.
already told me Ken's a riot at the breakfast, so we may have, this is one way to control him, I guess.
Yeah. Me and.
All right.
well,
You and
I
Ed.
won't mention
I
his
heard you
name,
and Ed,
yes.
yeah.
I won't mention his last name. Anything else on community updates and information? Thank you,
Yeah,
Jonathan.
this week, two members of the cable committee, and I went down to the new building, and they recorded me doing a walkthrough, saying, okay, this is what this room's gonna be, this is what this space is gonna be, this is what's gonna be here, and then it was actually, it was really cool. So when that's done being edited, because I kind of freestyled, they're gonna,
Sure.
Cut it down several.
yeah, like all those jokes that aren't gonna land,
Land.
they're gonna cut those out. But then when it's ready, it'll be on YouTube, I'll link to it on Facebook, so yeah, it'll air on the
Go
channel 9.
viral.
Yeah, yeah, so that's gonna be, so I'm looking forward to that, but it was a really nice thing to do. They get a lot of B-roll, so whenever I'm talking, instead of looking at me talk, they can cut to the B-roll, and so
Sure.
they're gonna, I know they're gonna do a nice job with it, and I'm looking forward to seeing the finished product. Good.
Oh, there was a delivery today. Do you want to mention that?
Yeah, we got the smart board today. It came in on the trustee meeting, yep.
That's cool.
It is very cool.
Just one,
Yes,
because Lori decided not to do it.
right. So it's gonna be projecting the program instead, yeah.
Anything else? If not, review, discuss, and act on. Do we have to do these individually? Or
It's up to you. I have the total figure, if you'd like.
let me read through them, just so we have it on record.
Yep.
And if you want to add anything to it, that's fine. So we have 3 invoices from Mid City Steel totaling $934.60. One invoice, I'm gonna butcher this, the Venus,
Duffinays.
sounds French.
It is.
Oh, I gotta keep that in mind now. Concrete Inc., total of $1,154.50. 2 invoices from Granite City Electric, total of $1,776. And 71 cents. 5 invoices from A1 Hardware, totaling $162. 1 invoice from Biss Lumber, totaling $16.80. 1 invoice from Amazon for 2 welding blankets, totaling
Welding.
$50.72.
I thought it said wedding blanket.
And you were wondering, right?
I did say welding. didn't I?
Sorry.
Yes.
That's what you need Wisconsin's for.
This
One-
is almost over.
1 invoice from Air Gas USA LLC, totaling $147.70. 1 invoice from Drywall Masonry Supplies, totaling $45.43. 1 invoice from Hound Dog Plumbing and Heating, totaling $9,175. 1 invoice from Granite City Partners LLC, totaling $3,635.
We added 2 invoices.
You're gonna add 2 invoices?
No, there is 2.
I missed them?
2. Granite City has 2. not
Yes.
one.
You read the second.
I read, yeah, this is the
earlier.
second one. I read the
Yeah.
first one already, the electric. And this is the second one, right?
Okay.
So there's 3 from Granite City altogether.
No, there's
Correct.
Granite City Electric and there's Granite City Partners.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
okay,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
got it.
And 4 invoices from Home Depot totaling $1,934.86. And 1 invoice from Aquaneck Fasteners Inc. totaling $59.84.
What's the total?
There should be 2 more, 2 invoices from Eagle Leasing Company totaling $522.
Nope.
Nope,
That didn't
Nope.
print on yours.
it didn't print. Oh. Okay.
From
Did it-
Eagle
Did it print
Leasing.
on leasing? Did it print on somebody else's?
No,
Good on
no,
mine.
Eagle Ease.
Well, that's
Eagle
the,
Leasing Company.
that's the official
Yeah.
agenda.
Okay, so let me,
Whoops.
Yeah, just this.
sure, if it's, yeah.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
2 invoices from Eagle Leasing Company totaling $522. Is that the only one that,
that's the only, yeah, that's the only one, yeah.
it's good that you have it on the
Okay,
official one.
so total for the record is $22,135.17.
Can I just ask, what was the one for the concrete?
The
Was that for the pads?
base of the ramp areas.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that was that, or I thought the town had done that, the guys at the.
The labor, but we had to buy the concrete.
Okay,
By the concrete,
all right,
yeah.
okay,
It's
thank
not
you.
also made in-
Sorry.
So,
And con- and-
so I have just a question about, because it just left, meeting will be over soon. I noticed that we had like detail on the Amazon invoice for $50, 2 welding blankets. But for Home Depot, it says there are 4 invoices, but doesn't say, it's, almost $2,000, doesn't say
What they're for.
what they're for. For transparency, I just, what, for the record, it sounds like it exists. I know it exists somewhere, somebody can look at it, but the first time I noticed that, because the welding blankets.
Well, I wanted to make sure it was on, because Amazon could be anything. So I said, like, just whenever I pay a bill from Amazon, just for the town, I always put the detail on there, just
You have to, yeah.
just out of reflex.
Yeah.
But I have it, so.
Yeah, if it doesn't matter to the committee, it's, I just noticed that. I said,
I
yeah,
do
we
know
got
Home Depot,
detail.
those are supplies purchased by the highway company for the interior finish work they were doing.
Right.
Yeah, that's
That
fine.
that was cabinetry for the break room, for the program room, countertops for the like. They were very expensive, so.
And there's a lot of detail to put there. It's
Yeah.
not just like 2 welding blankets. It's not 2 cabinets, so
Yeah.
it's fine. It's part of, as far as the town accountant has the invoices, if anybody ever said, what is it? Okay.
Yeah, and all of those slips are vetted by me and then
Yeah.
Mark and make sure we're not duplicating. So we have a good system in play.
It exists. I think for this purpose, it's fine. Okay.
So in the future, are you asking that it be broken down more, or?
I get Mark's point that Amazon needed that specificity. Home Depot is not it's not the same
I
thing.
understand.
Okay, you're buying something from Home Depot, obviously it's project related and couldn't be. Okay, thank
I
you.
go through each Home Depot slip and
Yeah.
make sure that it's being charged off to the appropriate location. So I assure you, this committee's not paying for anything that isn't library related.
And Serena wouldn't let it go through unless
Right.
it's detailed.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was there anything, any of these invoices that you thought was higher than what was expected?
No, no, everything is working out.
And we're on budget with this.
Sure.
As far as,
We are.
Anybody have any questions? So we can take a vote on this, the total, and it's going to be the building committee, it's going to take a vote, or does the trustees also have?
Building committee, this is all special article,
And what was the total again?
$22,135.17.
So I entertain a motion to approve the funding of these invoices in the amount of $22,135.17.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? If not, I'm going to call for a roll call vote, starting with Ron,
Ron O'Connor, aye.
Jonathan Gale, aye.
Campuchico, aye.
James Aguirre, aye.
Mark Rocknick, aye.
Pat Gales, aye.
Rick Trust, aye.
Mark Torres, aye.
It passes unanimously. Has everybody had an opportunity to review the minutes? And if you have, are there any concerns? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of March 13, 2025.
Moved.
Second.
Any discussion? If not, I'll call for a roll call vote, starting with Ron again.
Ron O'Connor, aye.
Jonathan Gale, aye.
Ken Pacheco, aye.
James Aguirre, aye.
Mark Rocknick, aye.
Pat Gales, aye.
Rick Trust, abstain.
Mark Tavares, aye.
It passes.
I'll entertain a motion from the library trustees to approve the minutes of the March 13, 2025 joint
So
meeting
moved.
of the building
So
committee. So moved. I'll step down as chair to second. The motion made and seconded. Any discussion, questions? No, we'll vote. Ron O'Connor, aye.
And Mike's an abstain. Rita Russo, aye.
Motion passes. Minutes are approved by the trustees.
we need to schedule our next meeting. I still think we can stay on the monthly meetings versus every 2 weeks or every week.
Mhm.
And if we're going to go with the second Thursday in May, it'd be May 8th. Is that a good date for everybody, May 8th?
It's not for me, but don't go with me.
I just want to make sure we're going to have a quorum because I know that you can't make it.
Yeah, I'm gonna, I think the 3rd to the, maybe the 22nd, so I won't.
So even if we
Yeah.
change the date, it's not going to help you.
I might have lighting at the next meeting as well. I would like your input on that.
Swatches and lighting. Yeah.
If you keep it for that date, we'll get together before the meeting and then maybe you could just send a quick report so everyone
Yeah.
knows how you feel about it.
Oh, we could change it to May 15th if that's,
It would be done by, I'd have to be done by 3:30. That's the only thing.
May 15th,
On May 8th,
May, done by 3:30?
yeah.
You need a half hour.
Well,
yeah.
people can't talk, just start
Yeah.
talking. We gotta
Yeah.
really make the meeting quick.
Well,
No
it's
discussion.
3:30 now, so.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can make May 8th, but be out of here by 3:30. You'd be fine with that.
Okay.
So why don't we keep it for May 8th at 3 o'clock?
Okay.
I don't think we have to take a vote on that, so. And you'll have, it's okay with the library trustees, May 8th? And if, like, remind us at the next meeting that we gotta be done at 3:30. I'll speed it up if I feel
Yeah, because
somebody keep us at one more thing, I'll.
we can just do,
He's gonna
you
bring
know.
a stick.
We could also do it early in the meeting.
Yeah,
Do it
Yeah.
just in
first.
case she has to leave.
Yeah, do it
Correct.
first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll put that on the agenda. Yep.
Okay,
I'm hoping to have it back by DCP, so, yeah,
okay.
actually, I will make sure we have it back by DCP. We can't be much later than that, or.
Right.
If I have Wi-Fi, I could. maybe see. I'll be in
John?
the Atlantic Ocean. So then there's-
Don't forget the time difference.
Oh, that's right. that
Yep,
happened
that's
to
right.
us.
Don't forget the time difference.
Jonathan, I don't know if you heard the subtle hints to you and I to kind of not talk.
Oh,
too
it
much
was-
next
Well,
time.
Oh,
speak
it
for
was-
yourself. I haven't said
also-
much today.
I was expecting that, both people to, on my side. different people, but
That's why I haven't said a word the whole time. now. I'm learning.
Telling game too.
May 8th at 3 o'clock. Does anybody have any other questions or any concerns at all before we?
Not a word.
Great job, everybody's doing this.
I will entertain a motion
Motion
to,
to adjourn?
is there a second?
Second.
And as everybody knows, you can't have
Aye.
any discussion during, for adjournment. So I'll start with Ron, roll call,
Ron O'Connor, aye.
JGI.
Kenny Pacheco, aye.
James Aguirre, aye.
Mark Rock, guy.
Pat Gales, aye.
Great Girls Trust, aye.
Mark Tavares, aye.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you, thank everybody.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the trustees
So
meeting.
moved.
Is there a second? Okay, we have a second. Ron O'Connor, aye.
And Mike's and I.
Meeting
Rita
adjourned.
Russo, aye. And